Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share today's video with you. It's all about Hobby Lobby Christmas 2023, all the decor they have out this year, plus some basics that I think are perfect for the holiday season, as well as all year round styling for a very high-end, cozy Christmas look. So we're going to be going through Hobby Lobby today, and I'll be showing you guys all of my favorites, things that look very expensive and designer to me, give you a few tips on how to style them. Also, I'll be pointing out a few dupes for more expensive items that have been super popular this year, and then we'll be coming back here for a little haul that I did. I actually got quite a few things that I am super excited to share with you, so make sure you stay tuned to the end. And if you're new here, make sure that you subscribe down below. I do lots of decorating all year round. Specifically, I have lots of Christmas content coming your way. I really like to give you guys attainable, affordable ways to make your home look cozy and designer for the holidays and all year round in that case. So make sure you're subscribed, give the video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it, if you're really excited for all the holiday decorating to come, and let me know down in the comments what some of your favorites are from today's video, or even in other stores that you have seen. But I believe that is everything. Let's go ahead and head to Hobby Lobby, and then we will come back here and I will share with you everything that I picked up. Alright, we are now heading on in to Hobby Lobby, and one of the first things I saw were these beautiful antique brass bells. And some of you guys might know that this is a dupe for the StudioMcgee bells. These StudioMcgee bells are $24, and these ones were a fraction of the price. They came in so many different sizes. The ones that are most like the StudioMcgee ones were $17.99 before the 50% off discount, but I love the idea of hanging these on a mantle, adding them to a wreath, or just using them as pieces of decor to style in a vignette, and all kinds of shelf styling. Up next in the Christmas section is a very timeless, classic, as well as trendy look for this year. It is this Nutcracker, and it's actually a dupe for the Pottery Barn ones that have actually sold out. They were being sold for $79 a piece, and this one was priced at $21.99, making it only $11 for this super versatile, classic, and timeless styling piece to put into vignettes. Something that really caught my eye in the Christmas decor sections was this Nativity Scene. Specifically, I really liked this stable. I like how it really resembled that Nutcracker, and it's just a very simple stained wood. After the discount, it was only $8, which I think was an amazing price, and it just gives a very beautiful classic but also modern look. So these items are actually in the Christmas sections. I think they are actually new this year. However, I feel like these are pieces that you could use all year round, and if you want to see more of those throughout the store, I will be sharing more with you towards the end of this video. But I love the mix of classic yet modern details on these candlesticks. This one right here was only $20, making it $10 after the discount. I love the aged brass material on it, and even the black ones just have a very beautiful patina that really give that very old world classic feel, and it's super cozy for the holiday season. Up next is another dupe for a high-end candle. Technically it's not a high-end brand, but this is supposed to be a dupe for the Hearth and Hand tabletop candles. As you can see, it has the 5 wicks. It is 24 ounces. It has a beautiful sort of ribbed glass design on the outside, and this is coming in at only $17.50 per candle. And again, I feel like candles are quintessential for the holidays, and this one really gives that high-end look. Next, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of a few of the wreaths. Lots of very natural ones. Some had pine cones, others had berry details, some were slightly frosted. So there really is something here for everyone. Something that really caught my eye was this bag of pine cones, dried fruits. There were apple slices in there, cinnamon sticks, and this would just make a beautiful scented bowl filler and just give that really natural woodsy feel for the holiday season. So now we're moving on to the pick section. I wanted to show you guys a couple of my favorites. My first favorite being this pine stem. I love the color of the branches as well as how natural all of the needles look. I love all the imperfections of all the branches. It makes it feel very natural. And at only $2 a stem, I feel like this is a great value to stick into arrangements or even add to a garland. Now it is time to take a look at some ornaments. If you guys watched my video from last week, prepping for Christmas and going through all of my decor, I shared with you these ornaments. Now these are not a new item, but I absolutely love them, and other people must like them as well because they come back every year, and I just love the neutral ribbon-like feel of them with just a slight pop of red. Up next, we are going to take a moment for these velvet ornaments. I don't think this will come as a shock to anyone who is keeping up with design trends for Christmas 2023, but these are a dupe for the studiomcgee velvet ornaments. And when I looked those up, I could not find them anywhere. They must also be sold out, but so many craft stores like Hobby Lobby and even Joann's and Michael's have dupes for these ornaments. I really love the neutral colors that Hobby Lobby had them in. They had black, a brown color, khaki, as well as this beautiful white. I love how the velvet gives them a very matte finish, and that just makes them super classic and timeless. And they even came in a few different sizes as well if you want to mix and match. And another ornament that I saw in this aisle were these sort of paper lantern looking ornaments. Again, they came in a couple different colors for a great price. In that same aisle, there were a bunch of beautiful garlands. And sticking with that brass bell theme, I absolutely loved this one. I feel like these could look great on a tree, but if I were to get these, I would personally hang them over a fireplace or maybe layer them with other garments over a window. And this beaded garland was absolutely stunning, and both of these garlands were only $5, which is a wonderful deal if that's something you're on the lookout for. In addition to the wreaths that we saw earlier, there were a few more on the end caps. This one here was my absolute favorite. It sort of resembles that pick we were looking at earlier. I love the mix and textures of greenery as well as the pine cones, and it just gives that really organic, natural feel for winter. So if you've been to Hobby Lobby during the holidays, you know the iconic Ornament Wall. And as opposed to the ornaments we were looking at earlier, these ones were actually glass. So they were super heavy, and a lot of them were only a few dollars after the discount. There are a bunch of dupes mixed in to all of these ornaments. I love the champagne tones, the colored glass, the amber glass. I felt like these were just very timeless and very elegant if you're looking for something that is going to make a big statement on your tree. The last wreath I wanted to share with you is actually very similar to the previous one. I just really liked the size of this. This would be perfect to hang in windows or even on the back of bar stools, and you could even tie a ribbon around if you wanted a pop of color. When looking at stockings, I find that I am drawn to pretty much the same ones every single year. I like the very neutral, classic ones. I usually like chunky knits. I will say these two beige and brown ones were my favorite. I loved how soft they were and the textures. These were super affordable, and of course they would be beautiful hung on a fireplace. You could line them all up, or you could even put them all together at the end for a very layered but asymmetrical look. Over in the kitchen section, there were a couple things that caught my eye. The first being these copper chargers. I love the slight texture that's on them. They almost have a galvanized feel to them. That neutral brown color is definitely one of my favorites, and I feel like this would just look beautiful with any sort of white plate on top. And for only $2.50 a charger, I feel like you could make a beautiful Christmas tablescape. And something perfect to pair with those neutral textured chargers would be these beautiful tree plates. I love the intricate detail of this and how simplistic it is at the same time. These are ceramic, so they are super durable, and they're only about $6.50 a plate. And they also had a little bowl version, which I thought was adorable. Next, I went over to the sewing section because I was on the hunt for some velvet ribbon. This trend was super popular last year as well as this year, and these are great to use for ornaments, to hang on the tree, or even just to accent wreaths or your Christmas tree. Lastly, for the Christmas specific decor, decor, I am going to be walking through the floral section. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of glitz and lots of glam, lots of flocking and glitter, but personally, I am drawn toward the very natural ones. This pick is actually one of my favorites. I have a few of these myself, and I love how inexpensive they are and how natural they are. Perfect to style by itself or even with other florals. This next one I spotted is actually a dupe as well. There is a very similar one on Floral that goes for $46, and again, I just love the coloring on this and the pine cones, and they had a couple different versions of this. Next up, I just wanted to discuss a few things that I think are great basics for all year round, Christmas especially. I love this vase aisle that they have at Hobby Lobby. They have so many different kinds of vases. I love the very aged stone-like ones. Regular price, these are a little bit on the pricey side, but I believe they do go on sale every other week or so, and that's usually from 30 to 40% off. So when keeping that in mind, I feel like these are great investment pieces that again can be used all year round. As I said, there are some very aged ones with handles and lots of texture. Some of them are very smooth and classic. There are some with a little bit of color, some that are neutral, and of course they come in all different shapes and sizes. And as I mentioned before, I feel like candles are quintessential when it comes to decorating for the cozy season. Hobby Lobby has a whole aisle of tapered candles, as well as these candles that have a sort of twisted detail, and these would be great to accent with for the holidays. Up next, we are heading into the section of lanterns, dough bowls, and trays. These are just a few of my favorites that I feel like would accent holiday decor as well as decor year round. These are another one of those items that goes on sale every other week or so, and there are so many different ways to use these. With dough bowls, you could put bowl filler inside. These trays are perfect to style if you want to create an intentional vignette on a countertop or a cabinet. You could even set these on an ottoman or a coffee table, and you could set books, a lantern, candle, maybe even a Christmas tree, one of those antique bells, and it would just make a beautiful statement. These dough bowls were some of my favorites. I loved the color on them, and this is another one of those trays that you could accent on a coffee table or an ottoman. I love the mix of wicker as well as wood on the bottom. So I'm going to show you guys a few more of my favorites in this aisle, and then we will head on home and I will share with you everything that I picked up. Now that we are back from Hobby Lobby, it is time to share with you this big haul. If you guys missed it, I did make a holiday prep with me or a Christmas prep with me video that went up last week. I can have that linked in the description box down below. But I essentially made a list of everything that I needed after going through all of my decor. And I will say I probably got about 90% of it at Hobby Lobby. I feel like I got everything that was on my list. But I think we are going to start with this piece right here. So in the shop with me portion, you guys saw the Nutcracker that I shared with you. It was sort of that wood stained Nutcracker. Super popular. I should have grabbed it while I saw it, because a few days later I went back to Hobby Lobby because I couldn't stop thinking about that Nutcracker. I thought it was so cute and super expensive looking, and it was only like $11, and it was sold out. They had none in the store, none online, and this is what we ended up going with. So this is technically from the craft section. It was $17.99, and this was also half off along with all of the other goodies I'll be sharing with you. So this is actually a little bit more inexpensive than the one that I shared with you all, and I don't intend on keeping it this way. I have some leftover wood stain that I really want to use on this to look super similar to the other one. I want to say this one is like 4 inches taller than the first one. Like, this one is so big, and I feel like it's just so fun. They had a couple different sizes of this, and then they had a couple versions. So this one is obviously the sort of drummer boy one, and I just feel like it's so cute. Love the way that this looks, and I feel like a lot of places have nutcrackers right now, so I was really happy to find one for my home. Next up are some greenery picks. Now I shared these in the shop with me portion. Personally, when I was going through all of the greenery for Christmas, there really weren't a lot that spoke to me. If you really like that very glittery, sort of glam, sparkly look for Christmas, I feel like there's gonna be a lot there that you love. But for me, I really wanted something super natural, and they did have a good handful of things that I felt like looked really realistic. And I mentioned that I wanted to find some pine stems, so I found these ones. These were $5.99 before the discount, and this is what they look like. I love the tone of green in there, and also the little tiny pine cones. I feel like it makes it look super realistic. The branches on here are super easy to manipulate, so we can put it in a vase. You could even make it a sort of garland if you wanted to line them all up. You can add it to a bunch of arrangements. You could even cut off little pieces if you wanted to add this to gifts or anything like that. And these are just so pretty. I felt like these were such a good price for such a realistic stem that is also very popular, as I mentioned. And I believe I got 5 of these, and I think I want to style these in a fun rustic vase, and I feel like it's just going to add that wonderful cozy ambiance for the Christmas season. Next up is something super simple that I really want to try out this year for the Christmas tree. In fact, everything else that I have here is going to be for the Christmas tree. So I got a couple packages of this velvet ribbon, and as you can see, it's sort of a beige color. If you guys watched my video from last week, I did talk about how I wanted to get more of a cognac brown color, but I will show you why in probably the next item why I didn't go that route. I decided to go a little bit different, but I feel like this is such a beautiful neutral color, and what I plan to do with this is to tie little bows on the very tips of the branches. I feel like it's gonna add such a nice elegant feel that's really easy to do. And these were both $1.99 before the discount. The week that I went, they had I think either 30 or 40% off of all of the sewing goods. This is technically part of that section, it's not in the Christmas section, and there are 2 yards in each package, so I'm hoping that I won't have to go back and get another one, but if I do, I guess they are super inexpensive. But love the way these look, and I feel like it's going to complement the rest of the warm tones that I want to incorporate into the tree. As I said, this next item is the reason I didn't end up getting a sort of rusty looking ribbon for the tree, because I found that sort of color in these velvet ornaments. I absolutely love these. This trend is so popular right now, and I can see why. They're so timeless looking, and I love how expensive they look. Obviously they're a dupe for the studiomcgee velvet ornaments, but they are so much more inexpensive. So these were $10.99 before 50% off, so they were $5.50 for a package of 4, and I want to say this might be, I think, the larger size, and then they had packages of 6 that were a little bit smaller. So we got 3 of these, so a total of 12. I thought that was the perfect amount to sort of disperse throughout the tree without it being too overwhelming, but I will show you a close-up of it out of the package. As you can see, it's sort of a warm brown. It sort of skews a little bit red. It's definitely very warm toned, but I love the texture of it. It's very soft. And then one thing I just noticed is that there is a copper finish on the top. I feel like that is so high-end looking. I am not a big fan of silver, as you guys may know. I feel like it can look a little bit cheap in certain scenarios, but I absolutely love these. They're a good size to spread throughout the tree. It's gonna add a little bit of depth to our tree, which is what I was looking for, and I'm so excited to incorporate these into our tree this year. And last but most certainly not least is another item for the tree. So if you were with me for holiday content last year, I talked a bit about how we wanted to do something a little bit different than wrapping ribbon all the way around our tree as our sort of garland. And this year, if you guys have seen the sort of studiomcgee tree Hobby Christmas tree, she used something very similar to this garland on her tree. And this is a combination of wooden beads as well as some more plush, maybe even like a wool material, and they're so cute. I love the sort of unfinished wood look to them. They're very neutral. They're super long. They are 72 inches and they were $9.99 a piece, and that's before the discount. So we got 7 of these. We usually get a really tall tree. Our living room has a very sort of sloped ceiling, and at the very peak is usually where we will put our Christmas tree, but it is super tall to fill that sort of 10-foot ceiling. We usually end up getting somewhere around 9 feet, and I feel like this is just gonna add that very sort of whimsical yet sophisticated look to the tree. And speaking of the tree, if you haven't been with me for a holiday season, the first part of my Christmas decorating is going to be putting our whole entire living room together minus the tree, because like I said, we get a real one every year, and we will get that the first week of December. That following week after we get the tree, I will share part 2 where we do the tree, and then we also do a little bit of decorating in the kitchen, dining room, and even a little bit to the bathrooms depending on what we have left over. So it's gonna be a minute before I get to use these, but I'm so excited to see how everything looks together, and I feel like it's just gonna make such a cozy, high-end looking tree. Alright you guys, that is going to wrap up today's Hobby Lobby Christmas Shop With Me for 2023. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are excited about the finds as I am. I feel like there are so many fun things that I can't wait to incorporate and create a very cozy home for the holidays. It's one of my favorite seasons to decorate for, and I'm just super excited to see how it's gonna come together. If you are as well, make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss any more decorating or shopping on my channel for the holiday season, and give the video a thumbs up if you saw anything you liked today, and if you enjoyed shopping with me through Hobby Lobby for all the high-end holiday decor this year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I did. Hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season so far, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye you guys.